Namaskar and welcome to the new segment on Young Minds Movement with Pujya Guruji Shri Sakshi Shree. Yesterday we spoke about various aspects of what young minds are, what are the characteristics of a young mind. It was not necessarily those who are only young by chronological age, but also those who are youthful. But today we'll focus more on those aspects of problems and challenges that people who are classified as young through their age, what are the challenges they face? Because I think they form a very important component of the Young Minds movement. So today, my questions, your behalf, would be to Pujya Guruji on these aspects and how to overcome these challenges. Thank you so much, Guruji, for once again taking your precious time to share your knowledge with all of us. When we talk of young people, I mean, in the chronological age of young, not the youthful minds only, but youth, while it is also a phase of immense energy, restless energy, lot of burst of energy that way, I think it's also a very uncertain time in the life of young people. They all have worries about their career, whether they'll be successful or not in it, their education itself, whether they will pass a particular exam, whether they will get admission in X college or Y college or this course, what expectations the society has from them, their parents have. The burden of all of this is on them. This is one challenge, I think, which the young people face. And on another side, there are other external factors also, which I think, influence them. What they see in the media today with the information explosion. Information is a double-edged sword where on the one hand it can be informative, but a lot of negative influences which lead many people astray, whether it is, addictions, drug abuse, unwanted sex, all of these type of things when they're also trying to discover their own lives, their sexuality and all of this. So that is another challenge that they face. So how, Guruji, should young people address both these very major challenges at a very formative, time of their lives?
Quite good, Vikram. No doubt, India is a country which is said to be the youngest country of the world because about 50% of its population is below 25 years of age. So we have about 650 million youth, and no doubt if they can learn the art of unleashing their limitless powers which are hidden within them, they can change the face and future not only of India, but they can become a powerful force which can change the face and future of the whole humanity on the planet. And as you put it, there are a number of challenges before the youth, and at the same time, they are struggling hard for achieving extraordinary success in their career. So the fever of ambition and the fear of failure, all these things are playing great havoc on their lives. And instead of being able to do something extraordinary, they are to face the challenges of anxiety, depression, and a number of disorders in their life. First, ask all the youth of the country that they should try to focus on one fundamental truth, that they are at the peak of energy. But this truth they realize only after they have missed this opportunity. So, being young, they should take this time as a great opportunity. And the first thing which they must do is to find out the right device through which they can unleash their limitless powers. Every young boy has got limitless powers within himself, but he uses only 5 to 7% of the powers. The rest of the powers remain dormant. And I want to tell you that meditation is the only device through which they can unlock the treasures of the immense energies which are latent within them. And for the same, I have offered the youth the most powerful device, the device of mind power meditation. If they can manage to practice mind power meditation just for 20 minutes every day, within 90 days, they can experience miracles in their performance. There is no other device on this planet through which intelligence of the individual can be enhanced. This is a fact established by medical science and the science of psychology also, that our intelligence gets stuck at the age of 14. The nature never helps in the growth of the intelligence. The work of the nature stops at the age of 40. But if the youth is determined to open the doors of becoming a genius like Einstein or a talent extraordinary like Buddha, every youth is capable of becoming an Einstein or a Buddha if he can unlock the treasures hidden inside. And the only device is meditation. By practicing meditation, your intelligence can grow to such an immense scale that it cannot even be measured. So I would urge all the youth of the country and the world to start practicing mind power meditation at the earliest. And mind power meditation is combined with the device of visualization. It can also act as a powerful tool for manifestation of all their dreams and desires in life.
Please explain mind power meditation for those who may not know about it, Guruji.
Vikram, it will take much time. We are certainly having a scarcity of time, but I can facilitate all the youth by telling them that on the Sakshi Shree YouTube channel and the Science Divine Foundation website, Science Divine basic course is available, and it is available for free to the youth. And so they should go to the website and go for the Young Mind Movement basic course. It is freely available on the Science Divine Foundation website. So this Young Mind Movement basic course contains mind power meditation and also the device for manifestation of their dreams and desires, which is entirely focused on the practice of meditation. And this is the most simple but highly effective device which will help them in unlocking their potential. I have seen its miraculous effects on thousands and thousands of young friends. If you can come for it, experience it, it will certainly transform your lives. Secondly, they should also understand three fundamental maxims which are required for achieving extraordinary success in life. These three fundamental principles are: number one, the first principle is application of the science of mind power. The essence of mind power is you get what you think about or focus upon, whether you want it or you don't want. In other words, wherever your focus remains, that thing starts getting attracted towards you. Therefore, the science of mind power says, focus on what you want. Never focus on what you do not want. Always focus on what should happen. Never focus on what should not happen. You see, Vikram, majority of the people in life get what they do not want simply because they keep on focusing on what they should not get. And there are likewise a number of mistakes which every youth is committing in his day-to-day life. If you go to the basic course of Young Mind Movement, you will find that in 1 hour course on mind power meditation and the science of application of mind power, they will come across a number of fallacies and drawbacks, mistakes, which is part of their life and living. So once you go to the course, listen to it sincerely, attentively, you will find that a number of things have started dropping down from your life and living, and it will pave the way for greater success in your life. The second principle is experience the state of being with no mind. The first principle is experience the miracles of mind power. And the second principle is just the opposite. Experience being in a state of no mind. When you are in a state of no mind, there is great conservation of energy. And that paves the way for your extraordinary achievements in life. For example, someone may say that it is because I worked for 16 hours that I could achieve extraordinary success in my IAS or any other exam. But never forget that these 16 hours of work could be possible only because you could sleep for 8 hours. This deep sleep for 8 hours gave you the energy to become able to study for 16 hours. Since you were born, your mind has been active. And you will be surprised to know that it is never resting. Even while you are sleeping, the mind goes on working. This has been found in scientific experiments that even while sleeping, the mental waves are active there. So your brain is such a biocomputer which is simply working day and night. And as compared to the electronic computer, what happens to the electronic computer? If it is overworked, it goes out of order. Some virus comes up. Its function is disturbed. We don't know, but the functions of the human mind have also gone disturbed because we have not been able to provide rest to the biocomputer brain that we call mind. So, and up till now, no medical science has been able to provide any device for switching of the brain for some time. But sages and seers of India, thousands and thousands of years ago, had managed to discover a device, and that device is mind power meditation. And that is why I emphasize that this meditation is simply a device to switch off your brain for some time. If you can manage to switch off your brain for 15 to 20 minutes, then your brain power will do wonders. It will help in unlocking the limitless treasures of mental energy, and it will also help in connecting your individual energy to the cosmic energy. It can lead you even to the experience of enlightenment in this very life. And at that stage of enlightenment, your intelligence becomes infinite as the intelligence of this existence. And the third principle is learning the science of joyful living. You see, I want to tell the whole youth of this planet that the third greatest source of extraordinary success in life is practicing the science of joyful living. Your success in life in proportion to the amount of joy which you have in your life. When you are joyful, your dreams and desires start getting attracted towards you more and more. The more and more speedily the things which you want to happen in your life start getting attracted faster and faster in your life. If you are happy round the moment, if you are joyful round the moment, from moment to moment, you will find that what you wish has started becoming the wish of this universe. You wish something to happen, and that thing starts happening in and around your life. I have been seeing the miracles of this fundamental principle. So, every youth must learn the science of joyful living, which I have explained in 1 hour course. So, this basic course for the young mind movement contains 3 hours, and out of these 3 hours, the youth can get a total blueprint of extraordinary success in life. It will also help them in unlocking the limitless potential that is hidden within them. As you told, a number of problems and challenges are in their lives. Each problem and each challenge has its own wisdom, and a deep understanding for the same is required. Students are at such a state that deep understanding and attention towards the roots of their problems can help them solve and dissolve all the problems which are associated with their lives. No doubt they want to solve their problem. They have got all the eagerness, because I feel it every time when I meet the youth of the country. But they don't have any right platform where they can receive right guidance, where they can receive profound solutions to their problem. So through this platform, in view of your questions and as per our interactions, I would like to give my own personal insights into those issues, and I am confident it will help them. Let me take up their problems, their challenges one by one.
Yes, Guruji. So I think a lot of them, even data of the government suggests that a lot of young people go astray in those growing years. There's either peer pressure, the influence that media has, cinema, now web series and internet and all of this. And many people succumb knowingly or unknowingly to all kinds of addictions, which they don't realize in the ecstasy of experiencing them, that in the long term these will cause harm to them and their lives irrevocably, whether it is alcohol, drug abuse, these kind of things. How does a spiritual master, an enlightened master like you, how do you envisage showing direction and path to youth who have unfortunately gone in this direction, to bring them back to the highway of success, of enlightenment?
No doubt, Vikram, you have raised the most important challenge which is before the youth in modern times, and that is the challenge of drugs and alcohol. On a large scale, people in the colleges, universities, they have become victims of drugs and alcohol. Very many of them becoming addicts because these things are by nature addictive. No doubt they are doing great harm to their physiology. At the same time, they are also destroying their future. They are also depriving them of any success or joy in their future life. No doubt it needs to be handled as it should be a top priority for the government also. It should be a top priority for the guardians, for the society, for the family, as well as it should be a top priority on the agenda of the youth themselves also. The first thing which I would like to highlight in this regard is that it is some sort of pleasure, some sort of joy, which they find after using a drug or going for a drink. That joy, that pleasure, that high which they feel, it keeps on attracting them day by day, every day, and that becomes an addiction. And ultimately, it destroys because it is only destructive in nature. Now the question arises as to what is the remedy. The first thing which I would suggest, without any substitute, no suggestion will work. Only preachings and teachings will not work because preachings and teachings are a lot. When I was a student in the University of Allahabad, we had invited Ilachan Joshi ji, and a literature par excellence. And he had been a chain smoker. We had organized one essay competition in the university on the harms and damages caused by smoking. And the student who had got the first prize for a 200-word essay, he was also invited on the stage to read his essay, which was highlighting the harmful effects of smoking. You will be surprised when he started reading the essay on harmful effects of smoking. His students were clapping from moment to moment on every sentence. And Ilachan Joshi was continuing smoking and lighting his cigarettes one after the other. He did not stop. After the boy had read out the whole, instantly Ilachan Joshi was requested to offer his comments on the essay. You will be surprised to know what he said. For the first 5 minutes, he spoke great praises about the essay. And he praised the essay in such a beautiful way that nobody present there could imagine. And after 5 minutes, he spoke one more sentence, the last sentence. अब आपने समझ लिया होगा ये निबंध मुझे कितना अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. लेकिन मेरे मित्रों, इस सिगरेट की एक कस लेकर देखो, ये उससे भी कई गुना अच्छी. What I mean to say, the effects, the person who has become an addict to drugs or drinks, it is very difficult to get him drop his addiction simply by preaching, because he can preach much better than those who may be available to teach them, either parents or anybody else. What he experiences out of drug and drinks seems many times more pleasurable than any preachings that can be given. So, what I mean to say that some substitute is required. And I have to tell you, Vikram, our physiology is a very complex and unique system. It has got all the ingredients within to produce the joys and pleasures which drugs and drinks can offer. We should simply know the art of producing it within our body. Our sages and seers thousands and thousands of years ago had given the device of meditation, which was a source of great ecstasy from within. And the whole spiritual literature offered by sages and seers in the Vedic and Upanishadic treatises explains the great benediction, the great joy, the great bliss which meditation can create from inside. It is the real high that is created by meditation. Meditation is simply a device of conscious living. It is simply a way to expand your consciousness. When your consciousness expands, when your awareness grows, when you start centering within, then all the chemicals, dopamine, and all that which this medical science has identified as chemicals for creating joy, enthusiasm, or so-called high, all those chemicals are created within. And the beauty of these chemicals which are produced within, which have been termed as ananda, our body organism is competent enough to produce that ananda element from inside. So why to go out for these drugs and drinks which give only temporary joy, a feeling of temporary high? At the same time, they destroy our physiology, they destroy our mind. At the same time, they become addictive. So, harmful effects of the drugs and drinks will also be avoided. At the same time, the real bliss, the real joy of life would be our experience. And thirdly, it will grow our consciousness. It will become a source of unleashing the potential which is hidden within us. Therefore, hereby I make an all-out, wholehearted appeal to the youth of the country that they should not miss even a single moment in adopting mind power meditation as their most powerful tool to deal with the problem of intake of these substances.
Along with this, Guruji, I think the youth is also a time when the young people are discovering themselves, their bodies, hormones are at play. So love, romance, sexuality, all these aspects are blossoming in them. Probably people are discovering, their likes and dislikes during that time. And that can also sap away. But of course, love and relationships are equally important. So how do you see this, particularly for the young people? What is the advice when it comes to these growing up years, how to handle matters of the heart?
Wow, wonderful. You see, all our problems arise simply because our fundamental tool is not in right order. What is our fundamental tool? For dealing with all the problems of the youth, starting with the one that we call the problem of drugs and drinks, addiction. Even for the addiction problem, if our body, which is the biggest tool, our mind, which is another powerful tool, and our heart, which is the most powerful tool for our emotions, if we can take care of keeping all the three in right order, in a rhythm, then a number of problems will not arise at all. Even the problem of drugs and addiction will not arise. If you exercise your body for 1 hour, if you practice meditation for half an hour, and if you keep your heart in right shape by keeping in touch with the right literature, this is one thing. The physical, mental and emotional tool must be kept healthy, and youth must take care of keeping it healthy. If it is not healthy, all the diseases will attack and all the problems will rush, and the individual, the youth, will become a treasure house of all the diseases. That is why I say it is very difficult to do away with the problem of addiction of drugs and drinks. It is not only by preaching meditation that practice meditation, everything will go well. In the initial stage, people find it difficult to meditate. That too will become a problem. Here I would like to appeal to the government and to the scientists of the country that drugs gives you a glimpse of some joy, of some pleasure, of something high. So some serious work should be done to ensure to refine the drugs. If the drugs are refined more and more by scientific experimentation and developed in such a manner that they don't have any harmful effects, at the same time they do not remain addictive in nature, and they can serve the purpose of giving a glimpse of the effects of meditation which are felt after practicing meditation for about 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. If such glimpses can be provided by refining the drugs, I think this can serve a great tool to take them towards meditation. In every hospital, in every college, in every university, such refined drugs should be available to serve as incentive for meditation, as a tool to take students towards the meditation. And a worldwide movement for meditation must be launched. And the government and all the NGOs and enlightened people should make an environment and awareness towards meditation. Once it is done, I personally tell you, a large number of problems will automatically be taken care of. As you just talked about the emotional issues which are affecting the life of the youth in a very bad way, very adversely. You see, youth are at such a stage that emotions are bound to emerge. This is physiological need for sex, need for romance, and need for being with the opposite sex. But then the problems start arising. These relationships largely are based on hookups and breakups. Boys and girls are getting hooked up and then they are ultimately facing breakups. It is just because their fundamental tool is not in order. Physiologically, mentally, emotionally, they are not well set. First thing is, they should take care of right exercise, right meditation, and other things required for keeping the body, mind, and heart healthy. Secondly, a deep understanding about the emotional dimension of life is also very important. The youth is being blown away in the name of love, and love is being praised all over the world through all the mediums of TV, serials, films. Whatever be the opportunity, praise of love is there. In the name of love, it has been thrown down the mind, heart, and soul of all the youth that love is divine. In the name of love, whatever they do is not a crime. So they have started making love everywhere. So they are in love without any bar on any kind. What they call love is not a love. They should understand that as long as they are relating in the name of love, they feel all the joys of love. No doubt, love is a powerful energy, connects, and that relates to the other. But the moment this energy is changed into relationship, then everything gets destroyed. When love becomes relationship, then the honeymoon is finished. Then one starts taking for granted the other. And when the other is taken for granted, then the other becomes a possession like a furniture. And if you want to possess someone, and no doubt, whenever in relationship a possessiveness comes, then idea of taking the other for granted also comes, and this destroys the basic element of love, that is respect. And when the basic element of respect is gone, then the other becomes a commodity. The other becomes something like your furniture. It means you can use it the way you like it, you can throw it when you like it. And now the love is no more there. The love is gone. What to do? That is why all love affairs are ultimate failures. Any relationship of love can survive only when the young man understands the art of living alone. If you can live joyfully by yourself, only then you become entitled and capable of living joyfully with somebody else. If you cannot live joyfully with yourself, if you cannot live joyfully alone, then you can never live joyfully with somebody else. Secondly, if you cannot live joyfully alone with yourself in any relationship, you will always be fearful of the fact that the other may leave you, that the other may separate from you. So out of the fear of separation, you will start clinging to the other person. And in relationship, both start clinging to each other. And then because of this attitude of clinging, they cling simply because they don't have the experience of the joys of living alone. They have the fears that they cannot live alone. They cling simply because of the fear that if they separate, they will have to live alone, which will be hell. Therefore, my suggestion is, first learn the art of living joyfully alone. Only then you will become capable of living together with the other. And then you will not be afraid of being separated. And once you are not afraid of being separated because you know that you can live alone, then even if in relationship you have to separate, you will separate with grace. You will part away without any scars. And then again you may come back with each other. So my suggestion is for being able to live alone, for being able to enjoy the beauties of aloneness without which no relationship of love is possible, you must first learn the art of meditation. It is only through meditation you can learn the art of enjoying your aloneness. And that is why I say true love is born out of meditation. True love is never born out of body relationship. It is always born out of meditation. It is always born at the level of your consciousness. It is born always at the level of your being. In the 21st century life, youth cannot experience true love without going into meditation. First meditation, then let love flow out of your meditation. So this experience of love and the love life of the youth, whatever guidance or tips can be offered, people are offering the tip to about breakups, post breakups, pre breakups. All these tips are simply nonsense. I am telling you the fundamental truth about the spiritual essence which can be brought about by living at the level of consciousness. Without this, no youth relationships can be successful, and all love affairs will be ultimate failures. Thank you, Vikram.
I think that was a beautiful way to summarize something which I'm sure a lot of young people face all the time. And I'm sure they would have benefited by this.
Without doubt, Vikram, I want to tell you, right solutions to deeper problems cannot be given through ordinary tips. These are very deep issues of life and require our serious attention. And for that, I have launched this Young Mind movement to enlighten the youth on the very crucial aspects of their life. And I hereby appeal to all the enlightened men, these solutions of the youth, if not taken care of deeply in right dimensions, the whole humanity will have to suffer. So, to cure the ills of humanity, serious and sincere attention on these lines must be provided by all those who are capable of doing something in this regard. And I appeal to all of you for the same.
Wonderful, Guruji. I think before we conclude, one last question that I had. They say that, there are three dimensions to the development of an individual. One is, of course, the IQ, the intellectual quotient, EQ, which we spoke of, the emotional quotient. But another dimension which most of us forget is what is called SQ, or the spiritual quotient. And I think ideally education should be giving all the three. In India, of course, we focus only on IQ, on understanding, cramming details, information. The other two are seldom, given attention to. And as a historian who deals with issues related to our past, our heritage, which is glorious in the case of India, I also notice when I speak to a lot of young people across India that there is a sense of disconnect from, our own heritage, our civilizational values, our history, our culture, spirituality, our own languages. I think several centuries of colonial rule and the manner in which we have been removed from our very essence and roots has brought this about. So, and that leads to a depletion of this third dimension of an SQ. But there is an increasing, I notice that there is an increasing hunger, there is a thirst among the youth to go back to the roots, to understand what is it, where did we come from, what is it that we can take back from our past and heritage. So how do we address this, particularly since India is a beacon of hope for the whole world when it comes to matters of spirituality and history and heritage and culture?
Beautiful, Vikram. Your question has got several dimensions. One dimension is when you say coming to the roots of our own ancient culture or civilization. When we talk of that, then there are roots of every culture and civilization on this planet. And all the cultures or civilizations had their roots. And as you know, as history tells, some cultures and civilizations providing very disastrous effects on human civilization. Certain specific cultures and civilizations have destroyed the peace of the whole humanity. Is it so?
Yes.
You agree to it?
Yes, Guruji.
So, if we, as a general rule, try to propound that everybody should look at his or her own roots of civilization or culture, then what does it mean? The terrorists will have also their own roots. And those who have been fighting in the names of religions, those who had taken the sword to civilize everybody in the name of their own roots, then they will also go to their roots and create the same similar havoc. So instead of generalizing a principle that we should go to the roots of our culture, I will like to make another generalization that instead of going to the roots of our culture or civilization of our past, because the past may be both negative and positive both.
Right.
So making it a general rule does not go down my throat. What I would like to generalize is we must try to go to the origins of our own source. In fact, as you talked of SQ or the spiritual quotient, all spiritual intelligence is simply based on the simple fact as to know what is the source from which we came, what is our origin, as to who am I. If we try to find out our own source, the original source, then we will have to think what is that. And whoever has thought on this issue of original source since times immemorial, they have gone to one conclusion, that our own source of creation lies within us. And once we go to that source of our origin, which is lying within us, that is what is meant by spiritual process. And when you get connected to that source, which is hidden within you, all the enlightened masters of this planet have said that once you get connected to that source within you, you get connected to the source of the universe. That is the source of the universe. In other words, when you get connected to your source within, then you get connected to your soul. That is they call self-realization. And when you get connected to that point, to that source, you get connected to the source of the universe also, because that point is connected to the source of the whole universe also. That is, then you get connected to the source of the universe. That is what we call God, the ultimate energy. Soul is your soul energy, and call it God, call it source energy, call it ultimate energy in scientific terms. Then you get connected to that energy also. So the soul energy and the ultimate energy of the universe or the cosmic energy, once you get connected to it, then you become capable of destroying all the undesirable dimensions of your life. If we can get connected to it, it means we have taken a deep dive into the divine, and it means if it happens, what is wanted in our lives, that will start happening, and what is required to disappear from our lives, that will start disappearing. We will not have to make principles about shoulds and should nots. What should happen will happen, what should not happen will not happen. That is why if you focus on the development of your spiritual quotient, all talks of morality and immorality will go in vain. Only the truth will start prevailing. So your question is very relevant. Now the ultimate require before humanity is to develop one's spiritual quotient. Not going to the source of, original source of cultures, but going to the original source of your own being will take you to the original source of all the genuine cultures on this planet.
That's wonderfully put, Guruji. I think it summarizes all the things that we were. So, dear friends, I'm sure over these sessions, we've gained a lot of valuable insight first into the larger Young Minds movement, which is not just Guruji's movement or one organization's movement, but all are collective movements for the whole of humanity. We understood what is a young mind. Is it just someone who is young by age or someone who is youthful? What are the characteristics of young minds? And also we dealt in detail about some of the challenges that particularly those who are young by age actually face, and how spirituality and the young minds movement itself and that basic tool that is available to all of us of meditation can help us get rid of all these challenges. I'm sure all of you would have enjoyed and benefited immensely from these conversations. And on behalf of all of you, I would like to sincerely thank Pujya Guruji for his time and for sharing this invaluable knowledge with all of us. Pranam Guruji, and thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. Your presence has always been enlightening to me and to the audience also. Thank you so much.